All right, cool. So we are live. What's up, guys? This is Dem Keys, and today I'm going to be doing a coding stream. I wanted to start up the stream before I end up getting distracted and not starting up the stream and just end up not streaming at all because it becomes too late. Um, but yeah, I'm carrying on working on this. Give me a sec. Okay, so I'm carrying on working on this little tool that I've been working on, uh, well, working on, and I'm figuring some stuff out. Give me a second. I need to move some things around and reposition my mic. I don't know. I'm probably not going to be talking a whole lot, um, or I might talk, but I'm also watching something on the side. Today's stream is probably going to be kind of short. To be honest, I wanted to do the usual, start in VR chat, explore some worlds, and then get into the coding part. But then, well, it's my fault. I kind of got distracted and ended up starting the stream late. But hopefully we'll make some progress today. So far I've been prototyping a bunch of things in the off stream hours. So basically offline I've been writing down all of the I've been writing down, let's just say, documentation for this script, and I kind of got it down to what exactly I'm looking for. Like I kind of through iteration I eventually figured out what exactly what exactly I want to go with, what kind of workflow I want to go with. So I decided this, actually, give me a second, I need to edit this. It's supposed to be 3 display modes, not 2. Where is it? Here. 3 display modes. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this is a script that I'm working on that's going to keep track of the expiry dates of various legal documents. Could be anything. It could be like an ID card. It could be a ID cards are called CPR cards where I live. So it could be an ID card. It could be a driver's license. It could be a visa, or it could be anything. Whatever legal documents you may have, or a bunch of people in an office may have regarding themselves, whatever legal documents a business may need to keep regarding its employees, stuff like that. So you need to keep track of the expiry dates so that you can, whenever the expiry date is nearing, you'll remember to go and renew it. And when you have like a bunch of different documents and you have a bunch of people whose documents you have to keep track of, it can become a little hard to keep track of all of it unless you're using some kind of program. So I'm making this for somebody, and I have 3 display modes. So basically this is going to be reading data from an Excel sheet that's going to be populated manually. And it's going to read various types of information from there. The information is here. So we'll have the employee name, we'll have the document type, info, notes, date of issue, date of expiry, and warning days, which is, how do I explain this? When the expiry date is these many days away, then it's going to start warning the user. Then the script is going to start warning the user that, yeah, this document is about to expire. So I came up with 3 display modes to sort of visualize these the records. The first display mode is a bar graph, where each document is shown as a bar, and it's going to show, basically the bar is going to show how far away from, or how close to the current date we are. Let me just say that again. The bar for each document is going to show how far away the expiry date is from the current date. So by looking at that bar, the user will get more of a visual representation of how further away from the current date the expiry date is. And I'm also going to be coloring the bars. So it's going to be green if it's a fair distance away. So like if it's 2-3 months away, the bar is going to be green. If it's 30 days or less, so if the expiry date is coming within like 30 days, then the bar is probably going to be yellow. And once we have reached the expiry date, and once we are well past the expiry date, that bar is going to become red, which is bad because that means that the document has already expired. So that's going to be one display mode. The other display mode is it's going to be a table that shows all the records, and the third display mode is going to be pretty much like it's going to be the same as the table, but it's not going to show all the records. It's only going to show records that we are trying to warn the user about. So that's going to be the three. Okay, so maybe I should change this to full table, warning table. So this is only going to show the records that we are trying to warn the user about the expiry of. I'm not sure if I said that sentence right. These are going to be the records that we are trying to warn the user. Wow, I'm not sure how to form that sentence. Basically, these are the records that we want to warn the user about. If these records are approaching their expiry date. Okay. Dude, I was supposed to start the stream an hour ago. I'm late. I am late. But better late than never, I guess. So, on the bright side, I managed to stream today. So that's good, I guess. Okay, so warning table is going to show records of documents that are close to expiring. Okay. So that is our whole thing. I think I need to update this as well. So this is supposed to show full table display, and this is supposed to be warning table display. So these are going to be the 4 buttons that I'm going to be creating. I was currently, just before I start, in fact, for the past like 1 or 2 hours, I've just been working on this. Um, I've been learning how to create buttons in the Matplotlib window. Um, and one part where I got stuck is this. Um, so AX is defined outside of this method. This method, btn01 underscore clicked, I'm using this as an onClicked event for btn01, which is here. And the issue that I was initially having was that AX, I think AX wasn't being recognized. I don't remember. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Okay, that works. Wait, what? Oh, you know what? Just for the sake of testing this, I could try this. Yeah, okay. So that is not working. Oh, do I need to show it again? Maybe I need to redraw it. So let's do plt.show. Or is it plt.draw? What does draw do? Redraw the current figure. That's what I need to do, not show. Okay. Okay. That works, but I need to reset it. I need to reset AX. So like, how should I go about this? Should I just reinitialize this? So we could do figure dot or plt dot subplot. So like I recreate the subplot again and then do this. Oh damn. Okay. So that got rid of the entire thing. Probably shouldn't do that. Now, I was expecting it to like redraw the entire... Wait, can I just redraw this? Yeah, so this is where I was kind of confused. Like, okay, so before I started the stream, I thought this line wouldn't work, even though it's supposed to work. I thought it wouldn't work because IntelliSense wasn't working at the time. So like, even right now, if I do this, see this? It doesn't work. So I was assuming that it's not going to work because like, I might have to do something like self and then add self dot so and so. But then the issue with that was when I would try to pass this if I would try to pass this as an event method, it wouldn't fire properly because the event method is it's expecting, or rather this event is expecting the callback method to only have an event variable. Give me a second. Okay. So yeah, I was assuming that it wouldn't work. I was assuming that this line wouldn't work, but apparently it's working. Now, what I need to do, can I do figure.redraw? Okay, that works. Let's see if that does, if that does the trick. No, that doesn't work. Oh, draw is expecting something, isn't it? Is this not expect? Is it expecting something or no? Redraw all stale managed figures, or if force is true, then all managed figures. You know what? Wait, okay, let's read this. This is used to update a figure that has been altered, but not automatically redrawn. If interactive mode is on, this should only be rarely needed. Eye on? What is that? Enable interactive mode. Let's see the notes. For a temporary change, this can be used as a context manager. Actually, I mean, I don't need to worry about this too much. But yeah, okay, I am kind of curious about... Yeah, you know what? Let's Google this. Let's open up a new Google instance here. So, some exciting news on the AI front. Actually, there's a lot of exciting news, but the one that I'm going to talk about right now is Bing specifically. So, Microsoft has been working on Bing Chat, which uses GPT-4 in the backend, and for the past couple of weeks or months, I think at this point, I don't remember. Bing Chat had sort of a wait list, so you had to join the wait list, and then you would get access to it. So it was basically limited to well, maybe not, maybe limited is not the right, but yeah, okay, the list was limited. It's not like anyone uh, could have access to it. You would have to join the wait list, and once they approved you, if they approved you, you would get access to it. Anyways, Microsoft recently opened it up to everyone. So anyone with a live account, so this is the important thing, you need a live account to use it. At least that's what I've gathered so far. You need a live account, and so far it mainly only works on Microsoft Edge. So you need both Microsoft Edge, which if you're on a Windows system, then you have Microsoft Edge. But you also need a live account. I've been debating whether I should give it a try. I mean, I have another system, a family member's system on which I can definitely give it a try, and I want to give it a try because if this is available to us, unlike ChatGPT, which is not available to us, it would be huge. Like, a lot of people are going to benefit from this. But yeah, if you guys want, you can go check it out. Just Google Bing Chat, and dude, like, with this, unless Google is able to, unless Google is able to, which they're also working on their own similar system, their own similar large language model, which is called Bard. Um, but unless they're able to come out with something equally as good, we are probably going to be seeing people using Bing a lot more than Google. Or at the very least, if not a lot more than Google, then probably just as much as Google. Um, but yeah, I'm guessing like eventually Google is also gonna come out with their thing, because like Bard is currently in the works. I don't know what the situation is with like being able to test it out. I think there's a waitlist for that as well. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. Just Google it yourself. Um, but yeah, eventually Google is also going to be able to not be able to. Google is also going to be coming out with their own. I don't know what's going on with my speech. Eventually, Google is also going to be coming out with their own thing. It was kind of rough for them, like when they started out. I think it's because they kind of rushed the demo. The first demo that they showcased, from what I remember, it didn't go so well. Um, and I think it, like later on when people tried to use it, they didn't have as good of an experience, at least from the people that I've been following and the tweets that I've been seeing. um, it seems like people are having a lot better time with chat gpt, regardless of like what other services are available. One that I've been using recently a lot is one called Stable Vicuna. I would definitely recommend checking it out if you guys don't have access to ChatGPT. Like if you're living in a country where ChatGPT is not available, give Stable Vicuna a try. Um, Also, I mean, if you are running a Windows system, give Bing Chat a try. Because like at this point, their capabilities are going way, way, they're going way above just being a chatbot. Like they're able to give you so much more. You are able to give them so much more than just text, and they are able to give you so much more than just text. Like use it and you'll see what I mean by that. Anyways, dude. Um let's carry on working on this. Give me a second. I need to drink some water, drink some of my energy drink. I'm having trouble talking. Give me a second. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how to reset the plot. Reset plot. Um, oh, okay. So apparently the plot has like a clear kind of option. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should store a reference to this. But no, I'm not looking for, hold on. What is L1 exactly? You're gonna have to bear. Oh wait, you guys can't see the other window that's popping up right now. You guys can only see VS Code because I'm using window capture, not display capture. Um, but something similar to this, well, not similar to this, but like basically there's a matplotlib UI window popping up. I can't add it to the window capture. Like I can't create a separate window capture and add it to that because I'm constantly opening and closing a new matplotlib window. So it's just not gonna work out. Okay, so I'm Googling this right now. So I'm trying to figure out how do I clear. Is there a clear option? Clear the figure. Now, okay, what if I do something like that? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. So it's having trouble with intelligence. Is it just having trouble with intelligence here or here? Because like I found that I tend to have trouble with intelligence in the regular Python scripts once I start using Jupyter in any project. So just to confirm, let's just let's do pig2 equals plt.figure ax2 equals figure dot what subplots 2 by 2 and then ax2 0 0 dot. So okay, so that's not the issue. The issue is for whatever reason it's having a hard time showing the intelligence for this. I probably should have created a second figure. Or, well... Oh, you know what I could do? I could do this on another code cell. So we can do import matplotlib dot pyplots or pyplot as plt. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. The thing didn't show up. What if I do dot show here? That's weird. Okay, let's do ax equals do I need to restart this? Give it a second while it restarts. In the meantime, let me read this thing that I'd googled. Okay, they all do different things. Okay, so for context, this I'm looking at the Stack Overflow page where somebody was asking when to call CLA, CLF, and close for clearing a plot. CLA apparently clears the axis, CLF clears the figure, and closes the figure window. So somebody is explaining here. They all do different things. Since matplotlib uses a hierarchical order in which a figure window contains a figure which may contain many axes. Oh wait, that's the end of the sentence. Okay. They all do different things since matplotlib uses a hierarchical order in which a figure window contains a figure which may consist of many axes. Additionally, there are functions from the pyplot interface, and there are methods on the figure class. I will discuss both cases below. The pyplot interface. Pyplot is a module that collects a couple of functions that allow matplotlib to be used in a functional manner. I here assume that pyplot has been imported as so-and-so. Okay. In this case, there are 3 different commands that remove stuff. CLA clears an axis, i.e. the currently active axis and the current figure. It leaves the other axes untouched. CLF clears the entire figure, clears the entire current figure and all its axes. Okay, give me a second while I alright, there's an ad playing now. Let's wait for that to finish. Okay, ad is over, and I just realized what was wrong with my code. What could possibly have been wrong with my code? So I was using fig instead of fig2, which is a variable that I created here, and I think this might have been trying to use the fig variable from one of the previous cells, which was in memory. Because so the thing with Jupyter notebooks is when you run a cell, it stores the notebook stores variable values. It stores the variables basically, and then those values get updated later on. So like sometimes you'll run into this issue where even let's say you ran a cell and there was an object that you created that you used in the code. Let's say after running that cell, you commented the line where you created the object, but you didn't comment the line in which you were using that object. So logic would dictate that, that this code is not supposed to work, right? Because you commented the line in which you created the object, so you're supposed to get an error because that object is not defined anymore. But the code is still gonna work because in the notebook's memory, the variable still exists. Let me see if I'm able to show this. In fact, let me see if I'm right about this, because I believe that's how it works. I hope I'm not wrong about that. Hold on. Okay, so num5 and then print, no, num01 equals 5 and then print. So that prints 5, right? Now, even though I commented out the line, 5 still shows up here. Let's see if I'm able to look at the variable display. There you go. So you can see num01 is still in the variables section. So yeah, that's why it was still working. Anyways, now it seems to be fine. Great. So what am I trying to do now? Yeah, let's finish reading this. So what happens if I clear the axis? So we have CLA, we have CLF, we have close. How do I get the... Okay, so I can specify the figure. Okay, that completely closes the figure. All right. I'm also not looking for... Okay, yeah, let's do CLF. It just clears the current figure. Okay, let's draw it first. Great. This clears the thing completely. Okay. What if I... Does CLA accept... No, that clears the current axis. Which, in this case, this would be the current axis because that's the one that I've drawn to just now, right? So let's see if that works. Okay, I'm not sure if that works because this is still being drawn. Okay. Let's do... Huh. Okay. What if I do this? So... Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing this is expecting... It doesn't say that it's expecting any kind of parameters, so I'm not sure why it gave me that error. Oh, maybe maybe because it's expecting me to index it. Oh, okay, there it is. It's expecting me to index it. So if that's the case, maybe I should just be doing clear and then have it redraw. Oh, wait, just a minute. I cleared it after plotting it. That was a mistake. Yeah, let's clear it first, then plot, and then we can draw again, which I'm not entirely sure if I need to redraw it. Great, cool, so that works. So now I know that I can change the same axes, or I mean in this case it's axis. So like with Matplotlib, I'm kind of confused about like whether because like they have like an axis would be considered an object. An axis is also considered an object. An axis, technically this would be considered an axis. Like look at that, list axes. What if, okay, let me try to print out, I can print it out here. Actually, I can print it out after show. Print AX. Okay, that did not help. Let's try type, because I think it just gave me So this is interesting. I didn't know that the axes internally they are numpy array, uh, or the axes is internally a numpy array object. That kind of explains why it kept on telling me, like anytime I make like an indexing related error, it says numpy array or nd array doesn't have so and so attribute, and I'm like, how does numpy come into this? I'm guessing internally that's how it's handling it. Man, dude, it is super interesting learning about these various libraries. Not only that, the more I use these libraries and the more I try to do more meaningful things with Python, I'm learning more and more new things about Python that is just, it blows my mind. And like it's stuff that I haven't done in other languages because um coming from languages like, let's say, C and C sharp. C sharp is a language that I've been doing for more than a decade. Coming from that kind of language, stuff that you do in Python is just, it's insane, dude. It is crazy. This language is really really well made in terms of being functional, in terms of being a language that you can use to get shit done. Like that's the best way I can put it. You can get shit done with this language. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be done in the most clean way. I guess that would depend on your programming style. But this language, the way that this language is made, it allows you to get shit done. Dude, I just realized I was supposed to be watching this this other stream on another system, and I kind of got distracted. Well, I got distracted with what I'm doing right now, which is kind of a good thing. Give me a second. I think the music, yeah, the music is fine. Let's just go back into that browser window, click around a little bit so YouTube knows that I'm still here, still watching. Video will pause soon. Oh, okay, they removed that. Great, cool, nice. Okay, back to this. So now I know this is working. Actually, wasn't I supposed to get the type? So the type here is, interestingly, it is an ND array. It doesn't even say axes. What if I did ax2 equals figure dot add subplot? What would ax2 be considered? There you go. That is considered an axis. That's interesting. That is very interesting. So yeah, I need to look more into this because like I've been trying to understand the anatomy of matplotlib basically. Because like in matplotlib, from what I've understood so far, the way that it works is you have a figure. In the figure, you can have axes. Those axes are sort of containers. Each axis is a container in which you can create, in which that can hold a subplot, and those subplots are what you use to actually plot data onto. So, for example, let's we can get rid of these. So, for example, these are 4 subplots. They're all in one figure, which in this case is called figure 1. Each of these is a different subplot, but they're all part of the same axes object, or rather the same axes list, I guess. So what I'm trying to understand the various parts of matplotlib. I'm not even sure how to phrase this. I'm trying to understand how all of the different parts of Matplotlib work. Um, and in a way, it's a good thing that I'm doing these different projects because they help me learn stuff. There's another project that I'm doing, not on this system though, I'm doing it on another system, but I'm probably going to be doing prototyping on this system. So hopefully I'm going to be able to stream that. That's going to be statistical analysis related stuff, because I'm very interested in finding patterns in data, and more specifically using statistical analysis methods to find those patterns rather than plotting it on a graph and trying to find like a visual pattern. I'm trying to find pattern through math, basically. And dude, when you get into it, there's a lot of different ways, there's a lot of different methods that you can use to find patterns in the data, relationship between different types of variables, and um, lots more things. It's super interesting. And shout out to these, dude, LLMs are like the future. It's LLM is a large language model. Stuff like ChatGPT, Bing Chat, Bard, these kinds of things, they are all considered LLMs. So in the future, and the future being the upcoming months, not even the upcoming years, and in the upcoming months, you're going to be seeing LLMs popping up everywhere. They're already popping up. They're already like widely in use, but it's going to become more and more prevalent in a lot of different places. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of help thanks to LLM. The great thing about asking an LLM a question as opposed to asking Google the question is that I can ask this model questions in the way that I would ask another human being. Like, I can tell it, okay, explain so and so thing to me. It'll explain that thing to me, right? And then I'm going to say, okay, hey, in your explanation, there's this one part that I didn't understand. Would you mind elaborating on that? Can you explain a little more about that? It'll explain that to you as well. It'll go into more detail. Let's say you're studying a concept. Let's say you asked it to explain your concept. It gave you a definition. Let's say you're having trouble understanding it without an example. You can ask the model to give you 2 or 3 examples. It'll give you those 2 or 3 examples. You can ask it to give you an example that is relevant to a certain subject. You can ask it to give you an example that follows a certain theme. It'll do that for you. Google doesn't do jack shit, like, at least in terms of this. With Google, it's like you Google it, right? And okay, speaking from a programmer's point of view, and speaking from a researcher's point of view, somebody who loves learning things, somebody who's always curious about things, who's always trying to learn how things work, I have been Googling shit for more than a decade. And that's how it should be. If you're trying to do research, and especially if you're a programmer, you need to get into the habit of Googling things. That being said, for more than a decade now, this has been my practice. I'll basically Google something. I might find the information directly, or I might not. Sometimes I might have to go digging through fucking Stack Overflow, Unity forums, or whatever other forums out there, maybe Reddit, maybe whatever other forums where somebody had an explanation for me. Reddit, for those of you who don't know, it has a section. It has I think it's called a subreddit. Yeah, Reddit has a subreddit called ELI5. It stands for Explain Like I'm 5. Basically, people are looking for really, really simple explanations. regarding various topics. So they're basically saying, hey, I'm trying to understand this thing, but don't go into technical shit. Just explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. So it'll be so much more easier for me to understand, right? People have been doing that. And to be honest, I've had certain situations in which I found it easier to understand things like through that subreddit as well. But let's say I have like very specific questions about what would happen if um, I wrote code a certain way. What could be the outcome? Or what if I'm trying to accomplish a certain thing? I'm trying to build something that does something. How would I approach that? Like, these are very specific questions. You have to give a lot of detail. And even then, Google is not able to, it's not always able to give you the right answer. It might point you to various forums, stuff like, again, Stack Overflow, Unity forums, whatever other programming forums, Stack Exchange, Reddit, whatever, right? It'll point you to those places, and then you have to go digging through those threads. And honestly, it's a waste of time. A couple of years ago, this is how people uh, did things. And at that time, if you would have called it a waste of time, people would call you lazy for not wanting to waste your time digging through threads. Now, thanks to these large language models, you're able to save your time. You don't have to dig so much. You can just ask the model to explain shit to you. And I've had so much of my time saved. I've had so much more productivity thanks to these models in the past couple of weeks alone. And I can't wait for ChatGPT access to be granted in the place where I live, because I'm definitely going to give it a try. In fact, I not just ChatGPT. I want open source large language models to start becoming bigger. I want to see stable Vicuna become bigger, for example. I want to see Hugging Face came out with their own open source language model. I think theirs is based on Llama, which is a large language model that was released by Facebook. I think theirs is based on Llama. I don't remember exactly. They a couple of weeks back, they also released, like, it's open source, it's free to use. It's still in like its early stages, so like with time it's going to be improving. It was literally at version 0 when I tested it out, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't remember how we got to this point. I think I was talking about this and how I've been trying to learn about the various parts of this, of Matplotlib. So like, I found out, okay, you've got a figure. A figure contains axes. Apparently, all of these things that you draw, all of these things are called they're called artists. So be it a line or be it something like this, I think these what do you call these? These ticks are also called artists. Text that you draw would also be called an artist. This button is called a widget, so it's part of the widget class. Also, I like this thing about the Matplotlib window, and I didn't find this out until I actually started using the actual window as opposed to the notebook, because like in the notebook you're not really opening this window. It's just showing you like a snapshot of what would otherwise be in the window. So I haven't gotten the button working in the widget, not in the widget, in the notebook. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. I kind of rushed it because I wanted to start the stream, so I kind of uh, tried to be quick with it, and so like I don't know if it's gonna I don't know if it's gonna register the button press events. That was the main thing. That was the reason why I decided not to do it in the notebook. Besides, this is not going to be run in a notebook. This this like this script is going to be run the way I'm running it right now. How it's going to run is um, the person is going to start up the script. I'm going to create like a desktop shortcut for it. They're going to start up the script. The script is going to launch this window. In the window, everything else is going to be going on. They'll finish whatever they have to do, and then they can close it. That's how it's supposed to work. As an added bonus, I kind of like this. You are able to like mess around with various plots, various graphs. For example, you can pan this. You can also zoom in. Look at that. You can also reset the thing. You can also go back. Look at this. I like that it stores the state. This is actually super useful, especially if you're doing like very heavy graph related work where you have like a bunch of graphs and you have to like zoom in. And I don't know if the mouse works here. I haven't tested that out. It doesn't seem to be working like right now when I'm trying it. But they do have this zooming tool, which is great. They also have this. It lets you change various properties, various like visual properties, which is super convenient. Look at that, dude. All right, anyways. I'm guessing this is okay, I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know how this is being drawn, but like it seems to be kind of slow. So I don't know if this is using the GPU to draw. Like I'm not entirely sure. Well, I mean, okay, no, eventually it's probably using the GPU. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what it's using to draw these graphics. Is the music still going? It should still be going, right? Yeah, great. Oh, another thing, you can first of all, this is great. You can save the figure. I haven't tried saving the figure yet. I think it's gonna save like a snapshot of this entire thing, which is super useful. Man, dude, matplotlib, dude, fucking hell. Matplotlib is just holy shit. It is so useful. There's so many things that you can do with matplotlib. So many things. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't even explored yet. Like it is insane what you can do with this package. There's so much that you can do. But yeah, you can also reset the view, which is very convenient. Now, something that I'm trying to Cutane, hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm currently working on this little tool that I'm making to help someone out. What was I saying? I was saying something about. Okay, well, I lost my train of thought. Let me open that up again. So, what exactly was I? I was talking about matplotlib. I was praising matplotlib because it is amazing. There's so much stuff that you can do with it. I've got a couple of other things in matplotlib that I still need to look at. Hold up, why didn't anything happen? Oh, okay, the window wasn't in focus. Okay, so there's a couple of other things in matplotlib that I still need to look into. One of them is animating stuff in matplotlib. That can be super useful as well for me, for my for give me a second. I need to drink some water. Okay, I'm back. So, animating can also be useful, especially in statistical analysis. Because like I feel like when you're doing like a visual representation, or when you're trying to find patterns visually in any kind of graph, I feel like seeing an animated version of it can sometimes provide you with some insights that the static image wouldn't necessarily provide. Like there are a few things, not maybe not too many things, but there are a few things that you might probably not see, you might probably not notice it in a static image. But then if you're seeing the thing animated, so like if it's over a period of time and you're trying to see over that period of time how two separate graphs kind of changed. If you watch the thing being animated, you might actually notice a pattern or a trend or something that you may not necessarily notice if you were just looking at the already completely plotted graph. But yeah, other than that, there's a lot of other advantages of animating stuff in Matplotlib. There's just so much that you can do in Matplotlib, and I'm super excited to get into all of it. I don't want to get too um, sidetracked with Matplotlib because I am still carrying on my research and studies of AI and ML stuff. So I want to carry on with that as well. I need to learn how the PyTorch library works. I need to learn how scikit-learn works. There's I've been doing research on supervised machine learning. So I've been learning about the various approaches, the various models that you can use in supervised learning. The one that I'm currently on is linear regression. So I'm learning about linear regression and the various types of linear regression that you can use. There's also support vector machines that I need to look into. I think there's a few other topics that I need to look into. Neural networks, that's another one, dude. Neural networks are such an interesting concept. It is crazy. So I've so far only dived into the simplest form of a neural network, where you have one input layer and a bunch of hidden layers, and then one output layer. So I know how that works. I'm trying to understand the more advanced ones, stuff like what is it called, recurring or recurrent neural network, convolutional neural network. Dude, convolutional neural networks are, well, as the name suggests, convoluted. They're it is. I'm trying to understand that because I'm trying to understand the concept of convolution. um I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Some of these concepts, they are they can take some time for me to understand. Um, but eventually I get there. There's a bunch of like different types of neural networks that I wanna learn about. Hopefully, one of these days I'm gonna make one from scratch as well in Unity. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I was carrying on with this. So I wanted to figure out how to lay out the buttons. Um, you know what? I could also during this stream, I could probably set up the bar graph for. Oh no, it's running the freeze command. You've got to be kidding me, dude. Okay, fine. Give it a few. Oh, all right, it's done. Great. So here's what I've been trying to figure out. So I know that with a subplot or with subplots, it kind of it lays. Oh, dude, you've got to be kidding me. So this is gonna look weird for the past 20 minutes, I think, or maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I think. I've been talking about this UI and I've been saying, oh, look, you can do this, you can do that, you can do. And I completely forgot that you guys can't see it. You're just seeing the. You're just seeing the. Okay, fine. Hold on, dude. Let me turn this off. Let me turn this on so you guys can see it. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know why that happened. Okay, so this is weird. I'm not sure why clicking on this and moving it is minimizing. What is this, dude? What is going on? Okay, anyways, this is the window I've been trying to show you guys. Um, at the beginning of the stream, I knew that you guys couldn't see it, but then somewhere down the line, I kind of forgot that you guys can't see it. And so, yeah, let me just do that little demo that I was doing. Let me do that again. This is what I was trying to show you. You have this. So this is a figure. In the figure, I have 4 axes, and an axis, it kind of acts as a container for a subplot, and subplots can be used to plot data onto them. So each of these is a subplot. And something great about this window is you have these other tools as well that let you interact with the graphs. So I'm actually able to move around in this graph. Not just move around, not just pan around. I can also zoom. I can zoom in. I can zoom out. Oh, it's zooming in the wrong direction. Okay, great. Let's see if I can get that back. All right. You can also, it also saves the view. So like each time you do something, it saves the state. So you can like click back. You can also go front. You can like skip between the different views. It is super useful. Super useful. You can also save the figure, which I'm guessing it saves a screenshot. This is a button that I've been playing around with. What I want to do, by the way, is I want to make it so the window is like maybe, I don't know, this big in whatever screen it's going to be on. And maybe the buttons would be like this small. They would be, I don't know, whatever, fitting within this area. So you have button one, two, three, and four. We don't need anything more than that. And then we have like this entire upper area, this entire upper space where you can where we can plot the bar graph, where we can plot the table, um, and actually, yeah, that's all we're going to be doing. We're going to be plotting the bar graph. We'll plot the full table. We'll also plot the warning table. Um, that's pretty much going to be the extent of the tool. It's not meant to do a whole lot more. I also don't want to make. I don't want to. How do I put this? I don't want to get too ambitious with it. I don't want to extend the feature list so much that it ends up taking a bunch of time for me to work on. Because I just don't have the time. I'm doing this to help someone out, and also because it gives me an excuse to work with the tool that I've been learning about, which is great. Um, okay, let me just click over here a couple of times so YouTube knows that I'm still here. Shout out to Ghost Data, by the way. I've been playing their music. Go check them out on YouTube and um, whatever other platform they're on. Go check them out. They make some good music. Okay, so I'm done with this. I kind of wanted to, so I can go back to this. I can go back to the notebook. I don't need this old code cell, so I can delete this. And actually, wait, maybe I shouldn't delete this because the upper code cell is there's a bunch of code here, so I don't wanna mess with this right now. Um, yeah, you know what? We'll go with this code set. Actually, I am gonna get up and do my hourly, bit of physical activity. So I will be back in a couple of minutes. Yeah, that's it. I've been sitting for a while, and I do this thing where I um every hour I get up and do some physical activity just so I don't end up getting like back issues and joint pain and stiff joints and stuff like that. So the physical activity helps me. And I get some of my workouts in as well because I include that into the physical activity. Anyways, I'm gonna go do that for a couple of minutes and I will be back. You guys enjoy the music, I guess. Let me switch to BRB and I'm gonna mute my mic.
Listen to Chill Hop with your screen locked and study uninterrupted. Try YouTube Premium on us.
All right, I'm almost back. My break ran a little long. Um, give me a second. Um, okay, yeah, hold on. I was doing something that I need to finish. We good here, I think. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Okay. All right, so we can move back to. Actually, I think this one album has been on repeat. It's, you know, it's fine. It's fine, dude. I need to figure out the split audio thing. I just haven't had the chance to look too much into that because, like, I mean, there's a bunch of other things that I'm doing research on, and there's only so many things that you can give your time to. So I need to look into that. I'm sure it's not something complicated to set up. I could be wrong, but like, cause OBS, let me switch to, cause like OBS gives you the option to choose audio tracks. I think it gives you 6 audio tracks. Before I mess around with those audio tracks, I want to know which one does what. I don't want to accidentally mess up the current setup. Because I don't know if it's a situation where all the audio sources they have the same output, or how do I put this? I don't know if the situation currently is that maybe all of the audio sources output the same thing, or if some of the, was I saying audio sources? No, I mean audio tracks. I don't know if the current situation is that all of the audio sources output the same thing and I'm able to change that, or if currently some of the audio tracks output something meaningful and the others are free to output other stuff that I want. So like, I don't know what the situation is, so I don't want to make assumptions and then change something and then have everything break. I also don't want to do that on stream, because I feel like it would be a little. Actually, doing it on stream might be a better idea, because I would be able to get like live feedback, because I would be able to hear it on stream. Oh wait, no, be a good it wouldn't be an accurate representation, because the goal here is that I get split audio, but I get split audio in such a way that one of the audio sources, in this case being the music, it shows up during the stream, but it doesn't show up in the VOD. Like, that's the goal. I want the music to not show up in the VOD. As long as that is the case, I'll be fine to play whatever music I want on stream. Which, to be fair, you know what? A lot of times, I'm not even listening to the music that I'm playing. Like, I probably have some other stream going on in the background, which hopefully you guys don't hear. I have some other stream going on while I work on stuff. That's just how I do my streams. Because like having another stream, it keeps my mind busy. if whatever I'm doing on stream is not stimulating enough for my brain. Though the good news is there are times where my mind is just so stimulated with the stream that I don't even realize that I don't need the other stuff in that moment, at least. Because like throughout this stream, I haven't played that other stream that I had on another system because I've just been talking and talking and talking. I think I've done more talking than getting any work done. Okay, so I wanted to set up. We can do. So there's different ways to create plots, right? There's also I also learned this, that you can create figures and axes and all in different ways. Like there's different approaches to it. Yeah, I think they called it the implicit and explicit way, or what was it called? Because like one way is to use the pyplot functions directly from the pyplot class. For example, wait, let me just undo all of this. Yeah, for example, using plt dot whatever. Another method is to create the figure and then call methods on that object instead of calling plt's methods directly, pyplot's methods directly. You create an instance of something and then use that instance's methods. So far I've been using the second approach. I think mostly because it gives more control over what you can, over what you can do. It gives you more control over what you're trying to display. I think the first approach is, it's more a convenience thing. Though, to be fair, I guess that would also depend on the scenario. It would depend on the situation. But it's great that we have like a... Okay, there's an ad playing, so I'll stop talking for 30 seconds. Okay, the ad is over. Welcome back. So, what was I saying? I think I was talking about how each approach would have like its own pros and cons. And I think that was about it. Yeah, so I've been looking into the various parts of pyplot, the various parts of matplotlib, trying to understand how all of these different parts work. There was one, I think it was in the quick start guide, where they had explained that pyplot, oh yeah, there it is. As noted above, there are essentially two ways to use matplotlib. You could explicitly create figures and axes and call methods on them, which is a more object-oriented style, which is the style that I use here. Or you could rely on pyplot to implicitly create and manage the figures and axes and use pyplot functions for plotting. So I think the second approach is more of a convenience thing, and it's like if you want to plot things like real quick. I could be wrong, because I feel like with the first approach you would have a lot more options, a lot more customizability, a lot more control over how things are done. But yeah, anyways, let's get back to this. I was trying to plot the dates. You know what? Yeah, I could try doing that. So we can do, actually, we don't need multiple plots here. We could do, hold up. So I created a plot with figure 2. What if I do something like this? Wait, does this have add subplot? No, it just has subplot. So if I create a subplot here, would this subplot still belong to figure 2? I need to find out. So let's do the same plot. Okay, is there a way to access the figure that the axis belongs to? Yeah, does it mention the figure name? Or is it just that like it has an active figure that it looks at? It just says figure. Oh, can I name the figure? Okay, so this is in yeah, this can be a string, right? Okay, let's say test. Okay. Now, how do I access the name of this? Oh, is it title? No. These are all methods. This is axes. Oh, yeah, let's see if this has any axes. Apparently it has one. So I'm still not entirely sure. Okay, let's redo this. Okay, fig2 dot subplot, add subplot. Okay, now let's do dot figure. Okay, dot figure dot okay, let me Google this. Matplotlib get figure name. Get the title of a given figure. Oh, this is to, I think this is to set it, right? Yeah. There seems to be no public API to access this, but you're, oh, okay. All right. What if I try to get the title? But this is getting the title of the axis itself. Okay, anyways, that's fine. I don't even remember why I was doing this, so I'm just not gonna waste time with it. Okay, so ax2.bar h, we have y, which is supposed to be, y is supposed to be our labels, right? Let's say t1, t2, and then we have width and we have height. Why do we have width? And then why do we have height? So what is width in this case? Because like width would generally mean how wide it is, right? But we are talking about a horizontal graph. So like, is it talking about the width? Like when it talks about the width of the bar, I'm not sure if it's considering the width after rotation. Let's find out. Okay, let's find out. The bars are positioned at y. Yeah, okay. They're positioned at the y-axis. Okay, with the given alignment. Okay. Their dimensions are given by width and height. The horizontal baseline is left. Their dimensions are given by width and height. Okay, let's try giving this. Does that work? Okay, so in a horizontal graph, in a horizontal bar graph, this would still be considered width. So they would still be looking at width. Whereas if it was something like this, here width would be each of these bars. So width technically doesn't change, does it? No, it does change, because here it's the height, here it's not the width. So in this case, if I set the width to, let's say, 2 and 2, that made them too fat. Hold on. 0.5, 0.5. Yeah, there it is. So that's the width in this case, and it's also the width in that case. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so I was concerned that maybe they don't have like a basically what they've done is they've tried to make it standard. So it would be considered width regardless of like what angle you're looking at it from. You have to consider width only from this angle, this viewing angle that you're looking at it from, and from this angle it would be width would be how wide it is, which is, you know, on the x-axis, the from left to right how wide it is, regardless if the bar is starting from bottom to top, bottom and going to the top, or if it's starting from the left and going to the right, width would always be considered the same. Okay, so we are looking for a horizontal graph. Now, what I need here is I want to set custom ticks. I want to set an x limit and a y limit. I want to see what happens there. X lim. Wasn't there like a set limit thing? How do you do this? I think I have to give it a tuple. Actually, wait, what am I looking at? Yeah, I'm looking for the x limit. Left, right. I'm looking for the x limit. Is that min max? That's it? The left x limit in data coordinates, passing none leaves the limit unchanged. The left and right x limits may also be passed as a tuple. as the first positional argument. See, this is one of the things I really like about Python, dude. It's because there's like so many different ways that you could go about doing it. So they mentioned positional arguments. In Python, you have different types of arguments for a function. Um, you can have positional arguments, you can have keyword arguments, and you can have, there was another one. So okay, anyways, positional arguments are arguments where like you specify them by position, and you don't necessarily need to mention which argument you are trying to pass. Keyword arguments are arguments where you specify the name of the argument that you're trying to pass in. There was a third type, I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's like you can make it like a mix of the two. And when you're mixing these three types, there's certain rules that apply, but even so, dude, it is amazing that there are so many different ways that you can go about creating a method that accepts data. So many different ways that you can go about it. And another great thing about Python, I mean, great, but also it can be confusing for people who are new, is that Python doesn't necessarily enforce type checking. So like if I create a method, let's say some func01, this is a method and just pass, okay, this is how I create arguments a, b, c, or let's say arg1, arg2, arg3. Notice how these are just names. There's no types, there's no data types mentioned. You can optionally provide a data type here, but this is more for the for your IDE. It doesn't necessarily enforce that this is supposed to be a class. It's mainly supposed to give a hint. So if later on I'm calling some func, then notice how here it says str. It says str, so it's expecting an str, but you can give it whatever you want. You can still give it whatever you want and it wouldn't be considered an error. Let's test that out real quick. Let me try to give 1, and then here I can give 2 and 3. See if that works. Yeah, there's no error. It works. Okay, anyways, so yeah, gushing about Python aside, let's carry on with this. So I wanted to set the limit, xlim set x limit. Let's do between -2 and +2, because so far I seem to be doing that. I seem to be having that limit, right? Okay, so this is exactly what I'm looking for. I am probably looking for a date that is a week into, or should I do a month? So like, here's what I want to try and do, right? I want to make it so there's the current date is in the center, and then on the right side we have 30 days after the current date. On the left side we have 30 days past, so 30 days before the current date, which is days that have already passed. And the records are going to show, if the records are showing up on the right side, that means there's, or if the bar is showing up on the right side, each record is going to be 1 bar, by the way. So if the bar is showing up on the right side, that means that the document it's yet to expire. It hasn't expired yet. So it could be very far away from how do I say this? It could be very far away from expiring, like it's not going to expire for a couple months maybe, or it could be very close to expiring. Maybe it's 30 days close or whatever. That is if it's on if the document is on, if the bar is on the right side, we don't need to worry about the document expiring. But like if the bar is like really close, like you see here, the bar it's coming close to the current date, it means it's close to expiring. That specific document is close to expiring, meaning you need to renew it. And if it's on the left side, that's bad news, because this means that the document has already expired and you now need to go and renew it ASAP. So that's kind of what I've been trying to set up. Let's give this a -1 instead. So this would be a representation of a document that has expired, and it would look something like, wait, how do I give it the colors? What's the colors thing called? I forgot. I think it's just called color, isn't it? Oh, I think it's called colors. Okay. And that takes a list as well. So I can give it, the first one is expired. The second one is not expired. Give it a second. Unexpected. Okay. What about this? Ah, there it is. So yeah, this is what it would look like. We can maybe give it a couple more. Let's say T3, T4, T5. And then here we can do, we can set the limit between -5 and +5. And then we can do something like, we have -1 here, we have 2 there, we could do 3, we could do, go back to, I don't know, we could do -4 there, and we could do 5 here, or 6 here. No, we could do 5 here. And then here, actually, if I was doing this outside of this function, I would have been able to make it a little more procedural. But like, because I'm doing it within this function, so it's a little messy. Or it's a little tedious, let's say. It's not messy. This one could be red, and this one could be green. There. So that's what we are going for. This is the look that I'm going for. And on the left side, instead of saying T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it would instead say the document's name, or some sort of short form or something like that. Because like I've given, document type. Yeah, it would say the document type. Well, okay, so I would probably have to find a way. Yeah, I think I should probably create those labels based on, so what information am I recording here? The information we have is employee name, document type, document info, and document notes. Document info is going to be the ID number and stuff like that, so that's not going to be helpful. Document type could be helpful, so I could concatenate employee name and document type. So it could be, let's say, Sam's driver's license, something like that. That works. That works. I would have to give it like a bit of space there as well on the left side. But yeah, if we are looking at a window that's like about this big when it's displayed, then yeah, there would probably be enough space, because like this program is meant to be, or this script is meant to be executed like once a day. They're gonna open it, look at what records are soon to expire, or whatever, what documents are soon to expire, and then they'll close it. So they'll note down which ones are about to expire, and then they'll close it. They then have to go into the Excel sheet and update that specific record's expiry date. So that's one manual thing that they would have to do themselves. Like, I purposely didn't work on like any UI for that, because I feel like that would be wasted effort, especially when you're able to do it like so much more easily in by opening it up in an Excel sheet. Literally all they would have to do is change the date. Once the document has been renewed, they would have to change the date of issue and the date of expiry. To be honest, date of issue is not required. I'm just putting it there for the sake of completeness because there is a date of expiry there. That's the only reason why I'm putting it. And if I need it at some point in the future for whatever reason. Right now, I'm not using it. It's just there for the sake of completeness because there is a date of expiry. So I've also added a date of issue. So they would have to update the date of issue and the date of expiry whenever the document is renewed. That's going to be one bit of a tedious task for them to do. But fortunately, these documents don't have to be, it's not like every document is being renewed every other day. Most of these documents, they expire, they're like, I don't know, monthly, or well, some of them might be monthly. But yeah, the documents that are big expiry dates are like driver's license, for example. It's like 5 years. Visa would be 1 year, 2 years. Um, passport passports are a couple of years. I think it's 10 years. I think passports are 10 years. I don't remember. But yeah, the longer ones, they won't really need to be updated for quite a bit. CPR, I think it might be 5 years. I don't remember. Anyways, so yeah, that's so I could keep going, and I could write some more logic for, I could like test out the date thing, because I did want to plot a date onto this. Yeah, you know what? Let's try plotting a date. So how do I want to go about this? Is the music still going? Give me a second. Yeah, okay. Okay, so how do I want to go about this? I hope this is not coming through on stream. But yeah, okay. So, oh, that's probably gonna come through on stream. Let's turn that down. Let's turn that down. I don't want that coming through. Okay. Okay. So I want to plot a date. What was what was the pandas version of a date? Let's get rid of all of this. Okay. Import pandas. Man, Python is such an amazing language, dude. Holy shit. Such an amazing language. Anyways. Oh, you know what? I just remembered something, and I want to Google it real quick. Because so back in the day, I did research on, or I tried to find information on how to do game dev stuff in Python, how to create UI in Python. And I, for whatever reason at the time, didn't get either I didn't get the right information, or I was just not knowledgeable enough in Python and in the Python ecosystem to understand what information I was being given at the time. And so I didn't really understand how I could go about doing things. Because like there's for any given problem, there's a bunch of different solutions usually in Python. Like there's a couple of different, well, a couple makes it sound like there's way too many, but like there's for any given problem that you have, there's a decent chance that there's going to be more than one library that is able to solve that problem. Okay, so what did I want to do? Let's do Python DirectX 12. Also, Python Windows. No, not Windows Update. Python Win32. That's what I was looking for. Because, like, I've been, like, when I'm learning a new language, Python, I've been doing it for years. But, like, what I'm saying, it's more about Rust. When I'm learning a new language, I like to try to find a problem to solve. So I like to try and make something with it. That helps me understand concepts a lot more better, and it teaches me a lot more as well. And it also, in the process, it makes me practice the language more, so I kind of remember various concepts. Because like when you've been programming for as long as I have, and you have a couple of different languages under your belt, and you're juggling a couple of languages actively, you tend to mix up syntaxes. Because let me tell you, C#, Python, and Rust, completely different syntaxes. They have like very different syntaxes. They also work in different ways, but like I'm talking about in terms of, writing the thing. For example, Python, it doesn't use any curly brackets, any curly braces when you create a function. So for example, some func01. This is, oh, okay, why did that happen? Oh, that's why that happened. That's how you create a new thing? Okay. Is that also how you delete it? How do you delete it other than clicking this? Control DD? Or is it just DD? Okay. D was pressed, waiting for a second. Oh, wait. So D does something else here? What if I... Oh, okay, yeah, it needs a specific... Okay, that's fine. That's cool. So anyways, what I was trying to show was here. So if I try to do something like this is not valid syntax. For creating a method, at least. For creating a function, it's not valid syntax. The valid way of creating a function is this. Or, well, I mean, something like this. So the indent matters in Python. That indent is also one of the reasons why you can't necessarily chain multiple statements in the same line. Whereas in C# I could do something like int a equals 1, int b equals a plus 5, and then console.writeLine b. All these three statements could be in the same line. It's ugly, it's bad for reading, but there are some situations where I have found this to be helpful, especially for shortening the code, and especially like if it doesn't impact readability too badly, then I definitely do that. But the point is, you're able to do that in Python because of this thing where they're like, you can't, how do I put this? You can't break up a line um, without using something like a backslash, for example. So if I was doing, let's say a string dot capitalize, okay? If I want to break this up and take it to the next line, I have to do something like this. And then if I want to break this up and take it to the next line, again, I have to do something. So I have to use the backslash. If I'm, fortunately, if you are doing something like um, initializing a class, or if you're passing in methods to a function, you can do something like this. That's valid. So that's good news. Funny thing is, I've been doing Python for years, maybe close to a decade at this point. And I only found out about this a couple of weeks back. I'm not even kidding about that. I only found out a couple of weeks back. And the same thing for backslash. I only found out about that a couple of weeks back. Anyways, so I was gonna do, I need to do timestamp, I believe. Yeah, timestamp. Timestamp is it's the pandas equivalent uh, of date time in Python. Okay, so wait, what are the arguments here? Year, month, day. This is kind of confusing when I look at it like this. So we have TS input, which is in so and so, so and so, so and so. That's fine. But then all of these other extra inputs. Hold on, hold on. Let me. Okay. Oh, okay. So we have frequency here. Um, all right. So we have TS input. We have year. Do I need to specify the year? This is a constructor. Okay, hold on. Um, let me see if I'm able to get uh yeah, let me see if this gives me the entire doc for this. There it is. So we have the parameters. This is a datetime like string. The value to be converted. Okay. Um, Alternatively, you could give it year, month, day, int. Is that supposed to be an int or a tuple? That's confusing. Wait, this is expecting. Okay, dude, hold on. Let me just give it a string. Let's just simplify this. Okay, D1 equals timestamp. Let's say fourth. Okay, so this I had this issue earlier where it couldn't it couldn't infer that I was trying to specify date or well day, month, and year. It couldn't infer that. Instead, it would go with the default month, date, and year, unless this value was higher than 12. No, unless this value was higher than 12. So if this value was higher than 12, it would assume that, yeah, this is meant to be the day, not the month. But anyways, let's print out D1. All right. So there's our date. What if I make this 13? Yeah, there you go. See? So it's accepting day here and month here. On the other hand, what if I do 13 here and 04 here? So now there's an error. Parsing the, oh, okay, so then I need to specify the format, don't I? Parsing dates in so-and-so format when day first equals false was specified. This may lead to inconsistency. Parsing dates, specify a format to ensure. Okay, all right, cool. So it does work. I think I missed this warning the last time, which that's fine. So I can specify the format, which, what is the format argument called? I can't, let me find it. Um, what is it? I'm having a hard time finding it. Hold on. Is it called format? No, there's no format here. Where do I specify the format? Is it within this? Let me Google this real quick. Pandas timestamp. Okay. Um, takes in TS input, year, month, day. Well, yeah, okay, I can specify the year, month, and day, right? Where is the format? It doesn't mention the option for format. Where am I specifying the format? But yeah, either way, I mean, I can specify the year like this, and then month, and then day. That can be what, 5. Right now, what do I want to do here? I want to create 5 dates. Yeah, let's create 5 dates. Okay, let's call this list dates, and let's create 5 dates here. All these dates are going to be within the month of May, but one of them can be 1. The others can be what, 10. Actually, we can make this far away. So we can make this 27. We can make this one 14. We can make this one 10. In fact, this one can also be behind. So we can make this 2, 1 and 2. And just for the sake of mixing it up a little bit, we can make it like this. Great. So that is the end of our list. That's our dates. How how do you compare? I think I compared with delta. I'm not sure. Uh, Minus pandas.time delta, I think. It represents a duration. Wait, it represents a duration. Okay, hold on. Uh, Timestamp dot, is there a today or a current? There has to be like a current or today kind of, there it is. Today. So yeah, let's see what that prints out. Does that give us a unsupported? Oh wait, that's a method. Wait, this is a, oh, oh, this is a method. This is not a field. Okay. All right, there we go. So that gives us a, I believe that gives us a time delta. That does. Okay. All right. You know what? I I think I'll carry on doing this off stream. Um, okay. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Cutane, thanks for hanging out. Anyone else who was lurking, thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.